Banger after banger.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community posts, any type of social media, wherever you can get in contact with me. I'm not hard to find. Get at me, dog. And I'm here with your weekly AEW Dynamite review. And this week's episode of Dynamite was it was an episode of Dynamite, man. It wasn't. Yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about it, man. So the first thing I want to talk about is the major announcement. The Tony Khan has a major announcement. He knows his major announcements, his important announcements, whatever you want to call them, whatever verbiage you want to use, important, major, whatever, is an announcement. And the announcement was that the pre-sale for AEW All In next year is going to start December 1st. And as Tony Khan is standing there with Nigel McGuinness, and they're talking about how great AEW All In was this year and how they're going to do it big next year and blah, blah, blah. My whole mentality was, this could have been a tweet. This seriously could have been a tweet. I know a couple weeks ago I had the running gag on my channel of the whole Tony Khan shut the hell up and stop tweeting so much campaign, whenever you like the video goes towards the foundation, this invisible foundation I had. And it was pretty much me trying to get Tony Khan to stop tweeting so much. I've made a tremendous mistake. I feel like this announcement really could have been a tweet. This could have been like an email. This meeting could have been an email, dog. This really didn't have to take up any type of TV time, any major TV time. Tony Khan, these announcements, man, he always does this. Like, for the most part, anytime he has an important announcement, it's not all that important, man. It's something that really could have been a tweet. I mean, I understand you want to get the sales out there. You want to get your sales up for Wembley next year. And that's all well and good. But that's it, man. And here's the thing, man. Up until Tony Khan's announcement, Dynamite was actually pretty decent. It was a pretty decent show. You had a nice flow to it. You had the whole story throughout the show of MJF trying to find tag team partners for his 8-man tag against the Bullet Club. He's rejecting the Kingdom. They're being dickheads. He's on the phone with Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole's giving us an update on how he's doing. And Adam Cole seems to be in good spirits, He's letting his beard grow out a little bit, so good for you. Good for Adam Cole and his beard. You even had a special guest appearance from the Devil. Ooh. The devil, who is the devil? I don't know. Ooh. But yeah, man, MJF is trying to find friends. He's looking at Samoa Joe. He's looking at Darby Allin. He's looking at all these people, and the whole time you had the Acclaim, being creeps, especially Max Caster. He's trying to get MJF to join the Acclaimed. He's holding up signs. Like I said this like 2 weeks ago. He was holding up signs like prom, tag team, 8-man, whatever, scissor. So there was that. And spoiler alert, his team ended up being the Acclaim. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, man, you had that going on. So that was okay. You also had the opening match, which was Orange Cassidy taking on Claudio Castagnoli for the International Championship. And this was a really good match. Even though some dickhead was trying to argue with me in my community post about Orange Cassidy not being a good wrestler, man, screw that guy. This was a good match between Orange Cassidy and Claudio Castagnoli. You even had some type of outside interference from Will and Yuta. Hook even got involved. The referee kicked both of them out of the match. Orange Cassidy ended up getting the win and retaining his international championship. And then after this, you have Jon Moxley come out. He's still in a bad mood because, Orange Cassidy tested his gangster a little while ago, gave him a little shoulder bump. And then Jon Moxley proceeded just to lay holy hands and feet upon Orange Cassidy. And this ultimately led to Jon Moxley challenging Orange Cassidy to a rematch for the International Championship at Full Gear. So that should be a fine match. It should be a good match. And I'm low-key wanting Jon Moxley to win. Speaking of championships, you had the Elite, the Elite, defending their Ring of Honor Trios championships against the Mogul Embassy. And this was a really interesting match because midway through the match, you had Swerve come out with Prince Nana, and he's taunting Hangman Adam Page. And Adam Page, he's still mad at this man came up into his happy house, cut a promo on his baby, whatnot, gave him a free T-shirt. And so, you know, naturally you would be upset by this. So Hangman runs to the back. He's trying to get his hands on Swerve. Meanwhile, you had the Young Bucks fighting for their lives against the Mogul Embassy, and the Mogul Embassy ended up getting their Ring of Honor Trios Tag Team Championships back. So, you know, and this was pretty much after Hangman left. This turned into a squash match, man. The Young Bucks, they got their cheeks clapped like they were DJ Academics, man. It wasn't pretty. And then after the match, he had I think it was Matt Jackson. He's throwing a hissy fit. He's breaking tables and chairs. And you know, it's looking like the Young Bucks might possibly be turning heel. And we're gonna talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And then on top of that, after this, you had Edge come out. And he's addressing, you know, Sting getting into his face last week, Darby getting into his face last week. And he calls out Christian Cage. Christian Cage comes out, and, you know, Christian pretty much said that, you know, he's saying that he's going to retire Sting. He's going to injure Darby even more. And even threatened to, you know, cripple Edge, you know, his own brother, his own flesh and blood, you know what I'm saying? He's threatening to break this man's neck. And this was like the breaking point for Edge, because now Edge is like, yo, you want to try to break my neck? So you have the Christian Coalition beating up on Edge, but then you have Sting and Darby Allin come out and make the save. Edge finally spears Christian, and then Edge pretty much lets it be known that he's joining up with Team Sting and Darby Allin, and they're going to face off against the Christian Coalition at Full Gear. So, you know, we're getting some character progression. We're getting a match announced, you know. So far, so good, man. It's looking really pretty good. At this point where things started to turn around, because then, yeah, Tony Khan's announcement, which wasn't really that important of an announcement. And then you had 2.0 versus Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. Now, Kenny Omega just had a hellified match, possible match of the year candidate against MJF this past Saturday on Collision, just to turn around and be involved in the Jericho-verse, being sucked back into the Jericho-verse with 2.0, and then you have the damn Don Callis family on commentary. The match itself, what doesn't matter, because Jericho and an Omega won. What matters was what happened after the match. So after the match, you had the Don Callis family come to the ring, and they're laying out the challenge. They're saying, I'm thinking that this is going to happen in Full Gear, but it's actually going to happen in, I think, 2 weeks in Ontario, Canada. The Don Callis family ended up challenging Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to a street fight. And Kenny Omega says that, all right, so you got your family, I got to bring in my family. So he says that his pick for their partner is going to be Kota Ibushi. And then then you have Chris Jericho get on the mic. And he's calling out Powerhouse Hobbs. He's saying, Powerhouse Hobbs, I don't appreciate what you did to me a couple weeks ago. He said, you're big, but I know bigger people. And he says that his pick for his tag team partner in this 8-man tag team match for the street fight is going to be the damn Big Show. Well, it's the Big Show. And I'm like, I've been hearing rumors about this being a possibility. Jericho trademarked the name Jericho from their WWE days, and I'm like, I don't want no parts of this, but I have no choice but to have any parts of this, because it's happening. It's going to be an 8-man tag, the Don Callis family taking on this thrown together team of the Big Show, Kota Ibushi, Chris Jericho, and Kenny Omega. And I'm like, I'm cool with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. I'm cool with the Kota Ibushi. Big Show, though, man, when he came out, man, this dude looked like a fucking ice cream cone. He knocked out Kyle Fletcher. That was a cool spot, but I'm like, man, you really want this man in the street fight? Like, you didn't have anybody else you could call? There was nobody else? It is what it is. But from this, we had a little bit of character development from the Young Bucks. Like I said, it's looking like they're turning heel. They were getting sassy with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega, and they stormed out the locker room. So it's looking like the Young Bucks are turning heel. Even though you had the Elite come back together, that was a big storyline with the Elite coming back together, and then Hangman joining the group again. And it was like happy days are here again. And now it's looking like they're going to split apart again. It looks like the Young Bucks are going to go their own way. Hangman's going to go his own way. Kenny is going to be stuck in the Jericho-verse. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck is... what is this, man? What is going on, man? I don't get it. So after this, we have our weekly one women's match of the night. And if you guys are on Twitter, if you pay attention to the online chatter, my Bob or whatever, you know that there was a little bit of discourse coming around this match between Sheeta and Willow Nightingale. And this match was for the AEW Women's Championship. So the whole discourse was the fact that you had Willow Nightingale lose a fatal 4-way number one contenders match to become to get a shot at the TBS Championship. I think she lost another match. She lost another match, but somehow, some way, she gets a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. And people are like, yo, what is this? And then you have some people saying it's an open challenge, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a good match. My whole thing is, can we just do something solid with women? Like, there's potential there. Like, you have what's going on with Sheeta and Toni Storm, which is always entertaining. You have what's going on with Willow and Sky Blue and Julia Hart. That's an ongoing thing, which is cool. Like, I'm fine with that. But as far as Sheeta's title reign, I asked for this like right when Sheeta became champion. All I wanted was for Sheeta to be involved in a good story, you know, do something, be involved in some type of feud. And so far, all we've gotten was Sheeta having good matches and Toni Storm interrupting her after her match is done, you know. So most likely this is going to lead to, you know, I mean, it is going to lead to Toni Storm versus Sheeta for the AEW Women's Championship. Oh, my bad. Sheeta beat Willow Nightingale. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, man, Toni Storm interrupted. And they're going to wrestle at Full Gear. But something cool that did happen was, like I mentioned, these three women. You had the lights go out. And Julia Hart was standing there with Willow Nightingale. And she's trying to get Willow to join the House of Black or whatever. And then out of nowhere, you had Sky Blue come out. And it was like she's going to join up with Julia Hart. But she ends up spraying Julia in the face with blue mist. Blue! So it's looking like Sky Blue is not turning heel. She's just going down a darker path, but you know, she's still good Sky Blue, and Willow is still a good person, and Julia Hart has blue paint on her face, so you know, there's that. So now you have the main event. Like I said earlier, it was an 8-man tag. The Bullet Club Gold taking on the Acclaim with MJF. And I will say this, the funny part was, as part of the deal, you had the Acclaim saying, look, man, we'll be your partners under one condition. And the condition was MJF had to wear the Acclaim's gear. He had a pink scarf on. He had a Scissor Me t-shirt. He had pink boots, pink trunks. And it was like, okay, that's pretty funny. I can't even lie to you. As much as a grumpy Gus as I'm being, that was pretty funny. And as far as the match goes, it was the Acclaim match with Bullet Club. And the main story was MJF really wanted to get his hands on Switchblade Jay White. And every time he was about to get his hands on him, Jay White would get out of the ring. And you also had the story of father versus sons. You had Daddy Ass taking on the Ass Boys, and you know, blah blah blah. Surprisingly, Jay White actually won. He pinned MJF, and he still holds on to the AEW World Championship. So the Triple B is still the Bang Bang belt. And then after the match, you had Jay White looking like he was gonna hit MJF in the face with the belt, but Max Caster knocked MJF out the way, being the selfish creep that he is. You know, he took the bullet, so to speak, for MJF. And then after that, you had Max Caster trying to scissor MJF, and MJF was like, I don't want no parts of this. But you had Daddy Ass, being the dad that he is. He's saying, listen, man, he just took a belt to the face for you, man. He's been trying to be your partner for the longest time. You get in here and you fucking scissor this man. Those were his exact words. He said, you fucking scissor him right now. I'm like, yo, this okay, cool. So they ended up scissoring, you know, whoop-de-doo. And that's how the show ended. You had the Bullet Club standing tall with the Bang Bang belt, but MJF made new friends along the way, I guess, or whatever. So there was that. Dynamite this week, man. There was some good stuff on it, but not good enough to get the W this week. I gotta give it the second ever honorary mid. It was a mid episode of Dynamite, man. I feel like this is one of those episodes where you can just catch everything on YouTube, like the clips, the highlights, the things like you think you would miss. Man, just catch it on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. It's an episode you don't really need to see, but it is what it is. With that being said, guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Dynamite? Do you agree with my rating of calling it mid, man? Do you think it was good? Do you think this episode sucked? What did you think about the major announcement from Tony Khan? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.